What's up, everybody? The reason why discipline can be so difficult, especially on things that you know to be good, that everybody knows to be good, is because you haven't made your personal connection as to why the action that you are doing is important to you. It may be in general important to everybody as a whole because it's good to eat healthy, it's good to train every day, and it's good to educate yourself. But if you don't make a strong emotional connection as to why you need to do whatever it is that you tell yourself to do, the action will never follow through with the intention. And as logical as it sounds to do whatever it is that you want to do, to be disciplined enough to stay up late, wake up early, to do whatever action is needed of you, without the emotional connection, there is no intrinsic force to follow through with that action, because as human beings we are not so logical as we want to be. We are highly emotional. And how many times have we have gone through a situation where for no apparent reason we have been so excited about something and we wake up early before the alarm when we go to Disneyland because we know that it's a once in a few years kind of phenomenon with the people that we care about. Why do we wake up so early without our alarm? It's because we are emotionally connected to whatever that event is. And the better you're able to have that emotional connection to the process, to whatever is needed to achieve a result that you are looking to get, the easier discipline gets. And it's not that discipline in itself is a hard attribute to apply to your life. It's how you think of it, because a lot of things that happen in our daily lives, they occur with ease and fluidity, or in contrast, rigidity and difficulty, by how we think about them. And by pairing both emotion and trains of thought together and establishing a strong why as to why you need to do this certain thing, discipline becomes such an easy task. The reason why I love training, physical training, and I love self-education is because I have paired an emotional connection with those activities to my daily routine and the activities and the results that I want to achieve in my future. When it's personally gratifying to see some of the results that come as a result of your disciplined actions, the emotional connection that you have with those activities is so much easier to establish. Which is why discipline is hardest in the beginning, because you are in the stages of forming that emotional connection, especially when you're making habits, when you're going down a path that you have never traversed before. You don't know what it feels like. But once you know what it feels like, it becomes easier to stay on the path. It becomes easier to form a connection. But in contrast to that, there might be situations where you have butted heads with the activity that you're trying to do. No matter how long that you try to do something, it becomes even harder to go about it. And at that point, you might need to pay attention to what it is that you're doing, why it is you're doing it, and who put those thoughts into why you should be doing that specific activity. Because more often than not, it could be the case where other people have instilled upon us certain values, external values, that we haven't come up with ourselves. Some of those things might be good, some might not, and that's up for everybody to decide. But one thing is for certain, if you try to apply yourself to these certain attributes, these values, and time again you come across them, you conflict with them, it might be time to readjust, recalibrate, reaffirm as to why you are doing something. The why is the most important part of discipline, and without the why, and without the emotional connection, discipline can never turn into habit, and habit can never form results. So, anytime that you're struggling with something, at least this is how I think of it, when you're struggling with doing something consistently, you gotta ask yourself, why is it I'm doing this thing specifically? Why am I spending my time and my energy on developing certain characteristics and certain habits? And if I know this to be important, and if I know that this is good for me, and if I still am failing at being disciplined to do these things and forming habits out of these set of actions, then I have to ask myself, where am I failing in my emotional connection to the process? Because we tend to focus discipline on a process instead of a result. Where am I missing in my emotional connection to the process that is prohibiting me from achieving the results that I want? So this is why when people say you need to work out, we often follow what is fun for us. For some people, swimming may be more fun than running. Other people, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is better than lifting. You got to find something that is interesting to you, and whatever is interesting is a good indication of your emotional connection to it. So don't think of discipline as something that is cold, hard, calculating, and something that you must be rigid towards. Discipline becomes easiest when you form a warm connection with the process, and you form a habit out of that. And there are multiple ways to achieve the same thing, just as it comes with wealth. You can be wealthy through real estate, you can be wealthy through a separate business. These are different ways to achieve the same result, and whatever process that you can find to get you to the result that you want, if you can find an emotional connection to it, you're better off following that route as opposed to butting heads with the process of something that you dislike. This life is too short to do something that you hate. Find something that you like, have an emotional connection to it, understand why that thing is important, and discipline will become so much easier. And you won't even think of it as discipline. You'll think of it as having fun. So it's all in the way that you think about things. And that's where the difference is between people who know things are good and they follow through with their actions and people that don't. Hope that video helps.